Okay, hello. Good evening, guys. Happy New Year. This is the first week of our January class. All right. I believe you are starting your new year already in your school. Okay, I hope if you're a January intake lah, that is. Okay, so hello everyone. Hi Jingen. Hi Clarissa. Hi Darwin and hi Ethan. So right, we are entering chapter 2 today. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I posted the week 4 video last month already in Google Classroom. So please check it there. I hope you did, because we discussed the last part, which is here, of our chapter 1. Right, chapter 1. It was quite a long chapter. Quite a long chapter. We finished the reproduction for plants one. Right, so today we'll be entering chapter 2. This is, I would say, an easier chapter. Okay, this is an easier chapter because this is more of a out of syllabus thing. Okay, not to say out of syllabus lah. You can't study this because it's like a very open-ended thing. Okay, what do I mean? Right, so what are we learning today? We are talking about living things in their environment. Okay, living things in the environment. Yes, hello, Terence. Okay, we just started. Okay, nice of you to join us. Okay, this is, I forgot what page this is. I don't have a page here. Sorry, I forgot to put a page here. This is your unit 2, chapter 2. Right, living things in the environment. As I said, this chapter is not a very studyable chapter. Okay, what do I mean? That means a chapter that you can't study all because it's everywhere in the environment. Right. So let's talk about what are we talking about today? We are talking about adaptations. All right, we are talking about adaptations. Right. So what is an adaptation? Let me talk about this first. Right. So what is an adaptation? When you are living in a habitat. Okay, guys, do you know what is a habitat? You are in year 9, by right, you should know what is a habitat. A habitat is where a living thing lives, right? Like, for example, the polar bear's habitat is at the North Pole, right? The Malayan tiger, the habitat is, right here, Malaysia, our tropical forest. Pandas, their habitat is in Sichuan, China, right? So that's their living place. So to help you survive, okay, every living thing's job is to survive, right? If you ask me, sir, what is the meaning of life? I will tell you this. The meaning of life is to survive and to reproduce. Your job is to stay alive and make baby. Once you survive and you made baby, and the baby has grown up to make their own baby, your job is done. You may die now. Okay, I mean, it's a very funny way to say lah. So your job is to make baby survive until nurse your baby until they are capable on their own, and then you may die. All right. So to survive in a habitat, you need adaptations. Right? Adaptations. Okay. So what do I mean? What do I mean? Let's look at humans, shall we? Okay. Humans are we can live in almost everywhere in the world, right? So we have a few adaptations. Okay, so first of all, what adaptations do we have? Okay, guys, did you know that all humans originate from Africa, right? If you were to go back to your ancestors, like many millions of years of ancestors before, we all came from Africa, right? And as you know, Africa is a very hot country. It's a very hot continent, right? It's a very hot continent. So we adapted most of our adaptation we have right now. We adapted ourselves to Africa. That means, okay, how do we adapt to that? For example, we have very little hair. Okay, very little hair. Hi, Felice, how are you? Okay, we are in chapter 2. Okay, Happy New Year. Nice of you to join us. Okay, so how do we adapt to our environment? We have very little hair. Okay. What else? We have very strong running muscle. Okay, we have very strong running muscle because we need to run. Okay, we need to run. All right, thank you. Okay, so we're in chapter 2. Right, so I'm just talking about this adaptation thing. So and since we all came from Africa, right? Africa has a lot of sun. So how do we protect our head from the sun? We have hair, and we have black hair. This black hair is to protect you from the sunlight, right? Because black is the best color to block sunlight, right? So this is how it works. So yeah, we have all these adaptations. So as I said, adaptation is to help you survive, right? It's to help you survive. And okay, you might say, sir, okay, let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question. If you look at Caucasians, you know who is Caucasian? As in white people. Okay, if you look at Caucasians, Caucasians. Okay, we look at Caucasians. Right, I have a question here. If you look at Caucasians, Caucasian. Okay, let's just say this is a very typical Caucasian. Right, let me ask you, why don't they have black hair? And why do they have blue eyes? Anyone? Anyone? Why do they have black hair? They have no black hair, and why do they have blue eyes? You might, because they came from Antarctica. Okay. Because they are from cold country. Yes, that's very good. Yeah, that's the okay, Darwin, that's very good. They are from cold country. All right. Different gene. Yes, they changed their gene. All right. So guys, we like I said, we originated from Africa, right? So what happened was when the continental wait, hang on, let me change back. Okay, so do you know what's the continental drift? Okay, do you know what's the continental drift? Continental, okay, last time we used to look like this. You see, we are one big piece of land. And then after a few million years, Earth starts to shift, right? And when we start to shift, we start to move to different climate. We start to move to different weather to survive. So if you look at northern side, they are usually cold countries, right? And if you look at cold countries, people who stayed there, they start to change their adaptation. You see, this is a change in adaptation. Like I said, adaptation is to help you survive, right? We call it 适应条件. So this thing helps you to survive. Now, all right, let's say you're an African. Let's say you're an African, you have black skin, right? You have dark skin, you have dark hair, you have dark everything because you're trying to block sunlight. Now, after you drift to the North Pole, imagine you drift to, let's say, Europe, you drift to North Pole, towards the North Pole. Now, the weather is very cold, right? The weather is very cold. There's not much sunlight. You only get about 3 months of sunlight per year because of the summer. The rest is just gloomy days, right? So now you have no more sun. What happens to your gene? Your child or your children will start to have lighter skin because your child, your offsprings, your next generation, they try to adapt to this weather, right? You were in Africa. Now, if you are in Europe, now you try to adapt. So maybe 20 generations later, 30 generations later, after 20 children, okay, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren, great-great-great-great-grandchildren, like 20, 30 generations later, now you can start to see the change. Your offspring, your child, your great-great-grandchild, they start to have lighter skin. They start to have lighter hair. They start to have lighter eyes. They start to lose the black color pigment we call melanin. Now, do you know what is this? Oh, sorry, this is melanin, N-I-N. Okay, melanin is the thing under your skin that makes you dark, right? So if you are like me, fair skin, that means you have very little melanin. If you are like dark skin, then you have a lot of melanin. But see, if you move towards a place without sunlight, there's no need for you to have melanin, right? You get what I mean? When you are at a place there's no sunlight, there's no UV ray, there's no need for you to block the sunlight, so you just kind of lose the melanin. And after a few more generations, you lose the melanin in your hair. You also lose the melanin in your eyes. This is how you get blue eyes, right? So if you go to northern side of the world, especially if you go to Denmark, have you seen Danish people before? They are all golden color hair, very fair skin, and they have blue eyes. Because they've stayed there for few hundred thousands of years, they adapted, their adaptation changed to where they live. You get what I mean right now? You get what I mean? Okay, say if you look at Chinese, okay, if you look at Chinese, we came from China. Is there anything that can remove our melanin? Not really possible. Not really possible. There's no such technology currently. Maybe next time there is. Why? What's up? Okay, guys, here's the thing. I don't know why melanin is like a source of abuse and racism, right? So you see how stupid this is. In my opinion, racism is a very stupid thing. I look down on you because you have more melanin. You see how stupid this is? So racism is a very stupid thing. It makes no sense to us. But you know, humans, we just like to hate on things that don't belong to us. Right? Yes, exactly. Donald Trump. Right? You see, humans, we just hate on people that doesn't agree with us or they are not the same as us. Okay, for example, if you support Manchester United, like I do, you just automatically hate Liverpool. Screw Liverpool, right? You say this. If on the other hand, if you're a Liverpool supporter, you say screw Manchester United too. You see, when someone is different from you, you just hate them. So same thing. If I'm a Chinese, if I'm a light-skinned person, okay, I'm not like that, but of course, but many they are like that. When a light-skinned person, you are a dark skin, and you go there, they will just look down on you like, you're different from us. Okay, this is what I call xenophobia. All right. Okay, anyway, I'm running out. I'm getting out of topic here. Right. So wherever you live, okay, wherever you live, your body will adapt to the environment. Right. So that's the great thing about organisms, about Mother Nature. We will change ourselves to suit the environment. So you can say that adaptations are characteristics. Okay, characteristic that helps survival. So what am I writing? Okay, characteristic that helps survival. So adaptation makes you survive better, right? So you know there are some adaptations that we don't use anymore, but we still have it. All right, guys, do you know what is wisdom tooth? Wisdom teeth? Do you know what is that? Okay, any of you have any elder brother and sister that have this thing? Wisdom teeth? You guys know what is this? 智慧牙. Mandarin is called 智慧牙. You know what is this? This is the stupidest shit ever. Okay, I had like four or three I couldn't remember. Okay, so what is this? Whenever you are 20 something, okay, now you are like 15, 16, right? Okay, next time when you are 20 something, yes, it's very painful. Okay, there will be one teeth. Okay, depends on your luck. Sometimes it could be one, it could be two, it could be three, it could be four. So this teeth will start growing out for no freaking reason. All right, you might be thinking, sir, we already have enough teeth. Why do we still have this? Guys, last time, when we were cavemans, we used wisdom teeth to eat vegetation, right? If you go back to 2 million years ago, when we were apes, we were monkeys, we still don't know how to hunt. We eat mainly vegetation. We eat grass, we eat tree trunks, tree bark, we eat things like that. And when we started learn how to hunt, we don't eat that much vegetable anymore. We don't eat that much of plants anymore. We started to move towards meat. So after a few thousand years, this wisdom teeth just lost their function, right? This wisdom teeth has no function, right? Unless you eat grass for fun, then maybe you need this. Any of you here eat grass? Okay, I figure so, right? So you don't need this anymore, but you might say, then sir, we adapted, right? We changed our characteristic. Why is this thing still here? We are changing, right? Maybe 100,000 years later, 200,000 years later, this wisdom teeth will be gone. Right? You see, the more you learn. Right. One more thing, guys. One more thing. Okay, can you please do this? Okay, follow my instruction. Okay, take your thumb and your pinky, put them together and you do this. Okay, put them together and you do this. Can you see a protruding muscle here? Okay, mine. Okay, can you see this? This is a muscle. This is a muscle. This is one of the muscle that has no function on our body anymore. Okay, I'm wearing a watch here, so I cannot see. Okay, so can you see this muscle here? This one, this coming out one. Not everyone has this. You know what is this? This was the muscle we used to climb trees. Because we were monkeys. We were apes. You got watch Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So we used to use this to climb trees. Now, do you climb trees? If you climb trees, then I have questions for you. What the hell are you doing? Maybe you're too stressful. You need to climb trees to release your stress. Okay, good for you. But you see, we don't climb trees anymore. So we kind of just adapted away from it. Like, there's no need for this muscle. So we just kind of ignore this thing already. Coconut tree. Hopefully, not climb coconut tree, ask monkey climb for you. Okay, so you see, this thing is useless anymore. Right? So do you know what else do we have? A very stupid thing called appendix. You know what is this thing? This is the stupidest thing ever, right? This appendix thing. So what is this thing? This thing, last time, yes, appendicitis. Wow, Terence, you had it before. You had it before. Okay, you know what is this? Okay, this thing, we used to use this to digest vegetation. Like I said, we used to eat a lot of tree leaves. We used to eat a lot of grass. So last time we used appendix to digest the grass. Now, this thing lost their function. Like I said, when we learn how to hunt for animals, we start eating meat. There's no need for this. So this thing will the thing already lost their function. So this appendix has no function, but it will just cause you trouble. Okay, what do I mean? Okay, what do I mean? So your appendix, right? Okay, let's say this is your appendix. Okay, this is your appendix. Yeah, I can't draw lah. Okay, so if it cannot help digest, no, you can, guys, you cannot digest vegetable. When you eat vegetable, it will turn into fiber, and fiber helps you shit. That's all. Right? So eating salad won't make you fat. But eating salad can make a cow fat because cow can digest veggie. So you don't, I have a student tell me, sir, why cows they eat grass so fat one, they eat salad one? Why they fat one? Because they can digest grass lah. You cannot digest grass. Okay. So anyway, so this appendix, this is a very stupid thing to have because you know why? If one day some food drop inside, okay, some food drop inside, this thing will start swelling. Okay, this thing will start swelling, and this is what we call appendicitis. We call it 盲肠炎 in Mandarin. You know what is this? You know what is this? So if this thing is swollen, right, you have no choice but to go for surgery. They have to cut this thing off. Okay, they have to cut this thing off. If not, yes, it could blow up, and it is life-threatening if they blow up. Not say blow up, rupture lah. This is not a bomb, right? So this thing will just you know, it just causes you a lot of trouble. You see, you might say, then sir, why do we have this stupid design here? Because we are evolving away from it. Okay, guys, this is what we call evolution. Evolution. This is what Darwin said. This is theory of evolution. I'm sure you have seen this diagram before, right? We evolve lah. So we keep changing our characteristic to survive. So now you don't need this thing to survive anymore. So the thing just lost their function lah. So this thing is a very stupid thing, right? So guys, I don't know about your moms. This is what my mom told me. After you eat, right, don't jump around, because when you jump around, food particle will fall inside, and then you will get appendicitis. Is it true? Is it true? Did your mom tell you this? My mom told me this all the time. Okay, after you eat, don't run. Later you get appendicitis. Later the doctor have to cut you open. I was like, oh my god, shit. Then I better not run. Or your mom said that. Every one of our moms said that one, right? Okay, so is it true? Is it true? Hell no. Hell no. You see, okay, I was just telling this to my year 8 that day. Okay, I'm just telling this to my year 8 that day. All right. You see, after you eat, right? After you eat, the food will stay for 1 hour in your stomach. 1 hour at least, 1 to 3 hours. After you eat, you jump around, do you think this thing will come all the way down and fall into your appendix? You see how stupid this sounds? This makes zero sense. Okay, it won't happen. You get appendicitis because of bad luck. That's all. You won't get appendicitis for, you just get appendicitis for no reason. That's all. Running around doesn't cost you this thing. Jumping around doesn't cost it. Okay, so you might say, then sir, why would our mom lie to us? This is to stop you from running around. That's all. You see, kids after they eat, they will have something called a sugar rush. Do you know what it, guys? Do you know what is a sugar rush? After kids they eat, they will have energy. They'll start running around, right? And to stop you from running around, because your mom is very headache of you, so she just tell you not to run. Okay, but they cannot just tell you not to run, because you see, kids, they're very annoying. I admit I was a very naughty kid. When my mom tell me don't run, why? Because you get hurt. Why? You will just keep asking why, right? So the adults to shut you up, they will use something called scare tactic. You don't run, later you run, you get appendicitis, I have to bring you to the doctor, they will cut you open. Oh my God, then I better not run. You see, works every time. Right? Like when I go, last time when I go to KFC, you know, kids will just run around lah. Okay, my mom say, you run around, you see, I ask the abang come and catch you, you go and work back there. So I stopped running. You see, this, yes, life hack. Bella, no, the chance is very small, Felice. The chance is very small, but doesn't mean zero. You will still get it sometimes. So this is appendicitis lah. So will running around get you appendicitis? No, you won't. No, you won't. The adults tell you this so that you don't run around. Because you see, kids, when they run around, right, you will vomit if you eat, if you are too full. Have you done this before? Last time, I remember once, I ran around in a restaurant. I had a really full meal. I just throw up all over the floor. Right? And this thing became an embarrassment for my mom lah, because everyone was looking at us and I messed up the whole restaurant. Right? So in order to stop this, you know why the adults come up with all these lies lah. Right? Guys, have you dealt with kids before? If you have very annoying cousins, you know what I mean. They just keep asking stupid questions, okay? JJ, can I touch this? No. Why? No, you just cannot touch. Why? Because mommy say cannot. Why mommy say cannot? Because later this thing will spoil. Then spoil already how? Oh my God, shut up. Right? Right? So in order to shut you up with that, why it's so violent? So in order to shut you up, right? They will use scare tactic. They will scare you not to doing it. Like, okay, another case in point, okay, I was eating watermelon, okay, and my mom, to get me to spit out the seed, because I don't want because I'm just a very naughty kid. I was a very rebellious kid. So my mom asked me to spit out the seed. I was like, why leh? Why spit out leh? Like this, I cannot swallow meh? This that lah, this that lah. So you know what my mom said? Yes. My mom's one is even more ridiculous. She said, you swallow and see, later the seed will go to your brain, you will grow a head, you will grow a watermelon tree up your head. Oh shit, oh my God, from then onwards, I spit out every freaking seed. You see, here's the funny thing. Watermelon, they don't even grow on trees. But according to kids, everything just grow on trees, so I will just grow a watermelon tree lah. So I stopped it. I stopped it. Same goes to the chewing gum. Like my mom, to stop me from swallowing chewing gum, she said, later you swallow that, right? This chewing gum cannot digest one, they have to cut your stomach open. Oh my God, shit. See, you don't do it anymore. So this is called scare tactics. Works every time, right? So this thing, like I said, guys, this is a big myth that I help you debunk today. Jumping around won't get you appendicitis, right? It's just that I still wouldn't jump around after eating lah, because it's just not very comfortable. Yes, exactly. Terrence, you see, nowadays kids different already one. Your mom tell you all these lies, you say, yeah, man, I Google. You see, cannot lie to kids already one. So last time we were very naive lah. Okay, whatever the adult say, we'll just believe it. Okay. Anyway, so that's what happens lah. So this is your appendix. Jumping around won't cause this thing. Like I said lah, you wouldn't want to exercise after you eat. It just feels very uncomfortable. Right. So that's the point. Anyway, so these are adaptations. Okay. Wow. I'm going a little bit off topic, isn't it? Okay. So this is your adaptation. So let's look at plants, shall we? So how do plants adapt to their environment? So these features are called adaptations, a special feature to help you live in your habitat, okay, to help you survive, like I said. This is your adaptation. Okay, this is your adaptation. So these are called adaptations. So a habitat is a place where an organism lives, like your mangrove swamp, your tropical rainforest, your Arctic, and so on. Guys, it is impossible to study every habitat, right? Like tropical rainforest, just by studying this alone, it will take you your whole life, right? It's a very complicated thing to study. Right? Okay. Anyway, so let's look at mangrove swamp. Okay, you know what's a mangrove swamp, right? You know what's a mangrove swamp, right? Malaysia is full of it. Do you know this? Do you know this? Malaysia is full of mangrove swamp, and sadly to say, most of them are being destroyed right now. Okay. Case in point, are you guys from Selangor? If you guys are from Selangor, I'm sure you know where is Kuala Selangor. Okay, Kuala Selangor. Okay, hey Felice, I thought you're from Penang. Okay, so if you're from Selangor, so Selangor, hang on guys. Hi Jaden. Wow, you're so late. Okay, so if we are in chapter 2, by the way. Okay, so if you're from Selangor, okay, okay, strike again, okay, get out of my swamp. Right, so anyway, if you're from Selangor, I'm sure you have heard of Kuala Selangor. When I was a kid, I've been there once. Kuala Selangor is very famous for fireflies. Okay, hey, this thing is really cool. Kuala, hey, what am I typing? Kuala Selangor fireflies. I think it's this is the firefly. You have to take a boat out. You have to take a boat out, and when you reach the middle of the swamp, you can see the tree just glows up. Okay, but sadly to say most of them are destroyed. Okay, they would rather cut off all the swamp. They would rather chop off all the swamp and change this into some kind of land so that they can use that for development, to build more condos, to build more houses. Right? Are there crocodiles in the swamp? If you go to the deep part, yes. If you go to deep part, yes. Guys, if you go to, have you been to Langkawi before? If you have been to Langkawi, I highly recommend you check out the Langkawi swamp. This thing is like few million years old. It's really amazing. Okay, this thing, the Kilim Joe Forest Park, it's really amazing. So when I went there with my wife, we rented a boat. Okay, and we toured around this thing. It was so cool. Right? See this swamp, one of the prettiest swamp in the world, Langkawi. All right. I hope this thing doesn't get destroyed. I mean, if there's one thing human beings are good at, it's destroying things, the environment especially, right? We will somehow find a new way to screw environment up, isn't it? Isn't it? Have you heard of the Amazon forest? Okay, the Amazon forest. It is the biggest forest in the world, the biggest rainforest in the world, and now it is being destroyed. Okay, as we speak, you see, we just have ways to destroy them. Yay, you see, isn't this awesome? And you know what happened 2 years ago? There was an oil leak there. Okay, there was an oil leak there. Even now, yes. Okay, you know this oil, you know what happened during this oil leak? This was so damn freaking stupid. You see a pipe there? You see a pipe there? They were digging for oil nearby the ocean. And you know what would be a great idea? Hey, when you mine for the oil, you need to transfer the oil to land to process, right? Hey, let's run the transfer pipe through the forest. That would be a great idea, isn't it? So what happened was the pipe burst, and this oil, it leaked every freaking where. So like I said, guys, COVID is not the disease. We are the disease. COVID is the cure. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? We just somehow find a way, pardon for my language, we just somehow will find a way to fuck this environment up. Somehow, right? Oil leak lah, then we spoil the ozone layer lah, greenhouse effect lah, La Nina and El Nino lah, extreme weather change lah, and then you have people like Donald Trump and say, global warming is is fake news. It's caused by China. See, someone so brain dead like him can become president. So, right? Later on, exactly. Right? So, let's come back to here. I mean, let's try not to be so pessimistic. So you see, swamp, they are really amazing. Okay, they're really amazing. So mangrove swamp are found along the coast of many tropical countries. Malaysia is full of it, right? And then normal plants cannot grow here due to the moving mud caused by the rising and falling of the tides, right? You see, swamp, they are constantly in water, right? You know, plants cannot live in water, right? Okay, they will die. So what they will do is, you see, mangrove, you must say, then, sir, how do mangrove tree lives here? Okay, you see, they have something called prop roots. This is the prop root. You see, when root, okay, root cannot be submerged underwater because they cannot breathe. So instead, they will grow out of the water. You see, very smart. They will just grow out of the water so that they can breathe in air. So you see, a type of root that spreads out over a wide area, deep into mud, and hold the tree in place. Okay, and then of course, they have something called viviparity. Okay, this is a very cute feature. This is a very cute feature. You see apples, right? Apples they will just disperse their seed somewhere, and the apple seed will grow somewhere else into a tree. But you see, if this is a mangrove tree, if this thing has a seed, if this seed drops into the water, this seed will not grow. So what they will do instead, they will let the seed grow on the tree first. It's like baby lah. Before your mom throws you out when you're a baby, she nurses you to an adult first. Only she will kick you out of the house. Hopefully not. Right? So this is the same thing. So viviparity is when the seedling, they germinate while they are attached to the parent tree, grows to a certain length before leaving. It's like nursing their baby. So you see, this is a very smart feature. You can only see this in swamp trees, in mangrove trees. Okay, really cool. That means they will grow their baby first before kicking them out of the house. Right? Anyway, so this is a mangrove swamp. Right, this is a mangrove swamp. I mean, I cannot study all the trees. They are nice plants. Yeah, exactly. So I cannot, okay, guys, you might say, then sir, what about this plant, that plant, that plant? I cannot answer all. That's why I said, okay, for those who just came in, and for those who came in late, this unit, this chapter is a study for fun chapter. You can't possibly study all the species and all the types of animals or whatever. You might say, then sir, how does this spider adapt to there? How does this plant adapt to there? I will say, I don't know. Right? I'm not a zoologist. I don't study all the animals. Right? So you don't ask me. I know some, but I don't know it all. Right? Anyway, if you have some interesting animal facts, then maybe you can tell me. Maybe you can learn something new too. Right? Anyway, so let's talk about rainforest, tropical rainforest. This is in Malaysia. Malaysia has is a tropical rainforest, just like the Amazon forest. Okay, just like the Amazon forest. So the tropical rainforest is one of the most optimal place for plant to live due to warm climate, abundance of sunlight and water. Right. If you go to Malaysia forest, it is full of trees. Why? Because we are warm, we rain whole year, and then the temperature is suitable. So Malaysia is like a heaven for plants to grow. Right? So that's why our rainforest is very awesome, because we are warm, we have sunlight, and we have water. This is why, guys, fun fact, do you know what's a mega diverse country? Do you know what's a mega diverse country? A mega diverse country is a country that has a lot of animals and plants. Okay, so many that you are called a mega biodiversity country, mega diversity country. Okay, let me show you this. Let me show you this. There are only 19, if I'm not mistaken. You see, there are 17 mega diverse countries in the world. 17. We have 200 countries in the world. And guess what? Malaysia is one of it. Only these 18, 17, they are mega diverse country. Right? I mean, if you look at Australia, not surprising. Brazil, not surprising. China, not surprising, because they're very big. Okay? But if you look at Malaysia, Malaysia is such a small country, but somehow we are a mega diverse country. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing, isn't it? So that's why Malaysia forest is a very priceless asset that we have. And guess what happens to them? We just spoil them as we like lah. Guys, as we speak, I think I told this before last year. The Malayan tiger, the symbol of Malaysia, the Malayan tiger, there are currently less than 200 in the wild. Currently less than 200. That means, according to many scientists, in this 10 years or 20 years, they will go extinct. They will. So sad, isn't it? Because you see, this is our Malaysia icon, right? Even our football team is called Harimau Malaya, the Malayan tiger football team. Okay, how do they count the tigers? They have their techniques. This is called ecology. They have their ways to count it. But this is a rough estimate, but it's not far away. We have less than 200, right? Even our national emblem, our national crest has 2 tigers there, isn't it? So how ironic would it be if this somehow went extinct one day? This just makes me sad, you see, right? Hey, it's not just the tigers, you know. Tape is going extinct too. Orangutan is going extinct too. The sun bear is going extinct too. Taxidermy. Then you can only see stuffed ones. So next time, your grandchild can only see stuffed ones. So there's no more real one to see. Okay, that's just sad. Okay, anyway, so this is our rainforest. This is our tropical rainforest. So it is due to these favorable conditions. So many plants grow here to the point that the taller ones usually form a canopy. What is a canopy? A canopy is like a roof. You see, the trees they cover every part. Okay, when you stand, animals will not extinct. Why not? They will. They will. Because you mean human-made ones, human-caused one will. Okay, they will. So if you stand in the forest, if you look up, this is what you see. Very little sunlight will go through. Okay, because whenever there's a sunlight, the leaf will grow there and get the sunlight. This is very serious competition because everyone just wants to grow. This is like a very, like I said, Malaysia is a heaven for plants to grow because the weather is nice, there's a lot of water, there's a lot of sunlight, right? So they will form a canopy and they will block sunlight from reaching the ground. So many shorter plants or germinating seeds that fall to the ground, they will usually die due to lack of sunlight. So you don't see anything growing on the ground. You walk into the Malaysia forest, you don't see anything on the ground. I mean, got lah, some mole, some mushrooms, that's all. You don't see green plants grow on the ground because they can't. All these sunlight will be absorbed by the tall trees. You will just die. Okay, it's like this tall tree is Samsung. You are a small phone company. Can you fight against Samsung? No, you can't. They will suck away all your customer. So you just die. Can you fight Apple? I'm going to start a phone company that go against Apple. Well, good luck. You'll be dead in 2 years. Right? So same thing here. So no short plants will ever grow down here. Right? But you have something that goes above. Okay, like I said, there are some plants that can go above this thing. They can solve this problem by having special adaptation. One of it is this thing called your strangler fig. Strangler fig, sorry. Okay, strangler figs. Hey, this is a very amazing part. Okay, you know what they do? Okay, you know what they do? Strangler figs, they are adapted to live in this condition. You see, strangler figs, they cannot win these trees. The strangler fig knows that this tree is very tall. I can't win this fella. So what do? I grow on them instead. Okay, if you cannot kill them, you join them. So this is how they work. So strangler figs, the seed germinate high up a mature tree to obtain sunlight. So the plant grows roots to the ground to get water and nutrients. Okay, so you see, your strangler figs, okay, let me show you a better picture here. Okay, strangler fig. Okay, so how do they do? Okay, when they start growing, right? Okay, can you see? This is almost the beginning of it. Okay, not really the beginning. So they will grow on a tree and then they will grow root down and they will start using the original tree as a support. You get what I mean? You get what I mean? I'm using that original tree as a support, and slowly I will surround the tree. Okay, can you see this inner one is like the original tree? This strangler fig, is like a net growing outside it. Okay, I am relying on this tree to survive. So slowly, okay, eventually the plant grows big enough and kill the tree it has grown around. You see how brutal this thing is? Okay, it will just, first it will grow around the tree first, then it will kill the tree on the inside. And when the inside tree dies, you have this empty space in the middle. Ooh, so cool, isn't it? Ungrateful, no hard feelings on this thing. Okay, so you see strangler figs at the end stage, this is they are killing. Can you see they are killing the tree inside? They are surrounding the tree. It's like this lah. I lean on you to grow, and as I grow bigger than you, I hug around you and I strangle you to death. That's why it's called strangler fig. So when the this is how it grows. I found a better picture. You see, this is how it grows. Can you see the original tree is gray color? At the beginning, they grow on top of the tree first, then they start to grow down, and then they surround the tree, then they kill the tree in the middle. So now you have an empty tree that looks like a net. This is your strangler fig. So amazing. Can you see? You see how pretty they are? I mean, yeah, it's pretty brutal, but it looks like the inside looks like this. Wow, so cool, isn't it? So cool, isn't it? Right? I see. You see the middle is empty. It looks pretty. Right. Okay. Many people they tell me, sir, this is so brutal, so cruel. How can they do this? But you see, strangler fig is actually a very important plant in the forest. They are what we call a keystone species. Please highlight this word. Okay. A keystone species. Okay. What does it mean by a keystone? Keystone means it's very important. Very important. Okay. You can say this. Breakfast. Okay, I'm not gonna write this lah. Breakfast is the keystone meal of your day. You get what I mean? That means breakfast is the most important meal that you eat every day. Okay, so this is your keystone species, right? So why do we call this a keystone species? Because keystone species is the one that helps the survival of a large number of other species. Many other species depend on keystone species to survive, right? That means if keystone species were to die, maybe 30, 40 others animal will die. You see how important they are? They are supporting. Okay, think of this like a shopping mall, right? As okay, let's say you open McDonald's, you open it inside a shopping mall. You depend on the shopping mall to survive, right? If the shopping mall were to collapse, everyone in the shopping mall will just lose business, isn't it? So this keystone species is like a shopping mall. If I grow well, everyone inside will grow well. All my tenants if I have a lot of restaurants inside my shopping mall, everyone will do well. So this is how it works, right? So as cruel as they are, you cannot, many species depend on keystone species to survive. You see, that's the beauty of nature. Okay, so they produce fruits when other plants are not doing so, providing food supply to many herbivores. You see, this thing can produce fruits. Okay, McDonald's. What the hell there is? Okay. Anyway, so let me show you some other keystone species. Okay. I mean, I don't know many of them. Keystone species. Okay, so keystone species. Okay, if you look at some pictures, okay, let's see, is there some pictures? Are there? Some of them are these are keystone species. Okay, keystone species. Let's just say keystone species lah. Just in the Amazon forest. See? See, shark is a keystone species. Right? Shark is a keystone species. The more you know, right? That means without them, you cannot survive. Like, you see, what is this? This looks like a capybara, though. Okay, it's not. Is it a capybara? Is it a capybara? Okay, I think this is an otter. And okay, you see, an otter is a keystone species. Okay, if you say, sir, is this, or that a keystone species? I will say I don't know because I don't study animals. Okay, so you can go and find it out yourself. Watch more Discovery Channel. Go and, I mean, come on, guys, you have YouTube now. Okay, you can, if you're interested in this, you can go and find out more about this. I mean, I'm not lah. Okay, that's why I'm not a biologist. I'm not a zoologist. I Not to say I have no interest in animals lah. It's just not my biggest interest. Right? I mean, if it is, then go ahead and study them. Right. Anyway, so this is your strangler figs, amazing plant, isn't it? They just look awesome. They just look pretty. Okay, anyway, so many other species would be affected if strangler fig were to be removed. If you kill one, you will kill many. Okay, like I said just now. So anyway, we look at Arctic. Okay, when we go to, okay, let's go somewhere cold. Let's go somewhere cold. Right. If you go to Arctic, have you seen your Christmas tree? If you see Christmas tree, why do they have such narrow leaves? Okay, leaves are broad, right? Why do they have narrow leaves? This is to stop snow from building on them. You see, another adaptation. So spruce tree, a type of conifer lives here. Okay, this is what we call spruce tree. So adaptation of a spruce tree, yeah, to make snow fall down, exactly. So their needle-like waxy leaf are not to just let snow fall down, they also reduce water loss. Right? Because you see, if this is winter here, it gets really dry and cold. So if they have a big piece of leaf, they just lose water very quickly. So if my leaf is very small, I lose less water. Okay, I stay watery and hydrated. So you see, that's a very awesome, adaptation here. So they are tall, narrow. As groundwater is usually frozen, so they are tall, narrow, sloping branches. They look like slopes, just like your Christmas tree. So that to prevent too much snow buildup, which might break them, snow can easily slide off. That's why your Christmas tree looks like this, so that the snow can just slide off. You see, this is another adaptation. So you see, every plants or animals lah. Okay, every species in the wild, they have some kind of tricks up their sleeve. You get what I mean? You name it, every species will have some tricks up their sleeve. If not, they will not survive until today. Right? You might say, okay, for example, okay, let me ask you, hamster. Okay, hamster. Hamsters, they are defenseless, right? They're defenseless, right? They just easily die. You drop them, they die. So why are they not extinct yet? This is a very good question. Hamsters, okay, let's just say rabbits. Hamsters and rabbits, they are two of the most useless animals in the wild. Okay, they are defenseless, they are small, but how do they survive? How can they make it until today without being extinct? Okay, their meat cannot be eaten. Can what? Can what? Can. I mean, if you're a tiger, you just eat them lah. No problem. Okay. Why else? Okay. What else? Anything else? Anyone want to answer this? How can hamsters survive? Feed tigers. Then they will be extinct already, right? Okay. How do they survive? Anything else? Any special feature that helps them survive? Anyone? Anyone? No? No? Okay. Here goes. How do rabbits and hamsters survive? They can reproduce very quickly. You eat 10 of me, I grow 20. I somehow will just overcome this. You see, have you seen hamster making babies? Have you seen rabbits making babies? They are crazy. They can produce like 50 rabbits in a month. They don't care. They just win in terms of numbers. You cannot kill all of them. Right? So that's why hamsters they are very easy to breed. You just put a male and a female together. You just put a male and female together, they'll start having sex, and then before you know it, you'll be getting tons of hamsters babies. Right? Hamster always eat the baby. Yeah, they do. Okay, if they run out of food lah. Okay, do you mean they are playful? You can say that. That's why, guys, rabbit is the symbol of fertility. Right? When you think about this, guys. Rabbit is the sign of having sex. Okay, it's a sign of fertility. So it's not hard to see why because they reproduce like crazy. Okay, for the lack of a better term. Okay, anyway, so this is your Arctic tree So other examples. Okay, let's look at other examples like a weed. Guys, do you know what's weed? Not the weed the weed you smoke weed as in your lalang You know lalang? You know lalang? Not cannabis Weed as in those Okay, they are showing me this. What the hell? Oh my god, I just want plant weeds. Oh my god. Weed plant. Okay, this is really stupid. Okay. Whenever you have like, okay, let's say now you have a farm, you need to, there are some small plants that grow beside your plant that sucks away the nutrient, right? So that's the weed lah. Oh my god, I can't find it here. Okay, weed are there? That is the weed lah. You see, those useless plant that will suck away nutrient from your main crop. So this is weed lah. Hey guys, this is very hard to kill. Weed is freaking hard to kill because you kill them, next year they will come back. Or maybe not next year, a few months later, they will be back. So a weed is a plant that grow beside crops and compete for light, water, and nutrients. So they will grow in between here, you see. These are weed. Okay, maybe this is your carrot. They will grow, the weed will just come here and suck away nutrient from your carrot. Okay, if you want, let's go smoke it, Okay, so they are annual plants. Okay, they germinate, they grow, they produce seed, and they die in less than a year. See, you see, they just grow very quickly. So their seed can survive for a long period of time in unfavorable conditions like dry and extreme. No matter how dry or how extreme this is, they will just survive. As long as you don't cut off their root, they will not die. Right? You see, when you cut grass, right? When you cut grass, you might be thinking, sir, why do I cut the grass? And then a few months later they are back because you haven't removed their root. You need to remove the whole root to stop them from growing. That's what makes it very hard to eliminate. So that's your weed lah. That's your weed. So these are that. Okay, so guys, like I said, I can't teach you everything. Weeds are annoying exactly if you do gardening. So like I said, I can't teach you everything. There are at least millions of types of plants in the rainforest. You don't ask me, oh sir, this plant, that plant, let's say plant A, what's the adaptation? I will tell you, I don't know. Why not you tell me? Hey, you do the go and read something and you tell me lah, because I really don't know. Okay, I mean, I can't possibly study all of them. Right? Okay, so there you go. So these are plant adaptations. So these are plant adaptations. So let's look at some animal adaptations, shall we? Okay, let's look at some animal adaptation. So animal adaptations, like you see this Arabian oryx. Have you heard of what is this thing? Okay, they just look awesome, you see. Let me find you some better pictures. Okay, this is called the Arabian oryx. They sort of look like goats, but they are much tougher goats. You see? Much tougher goats. They just look like Satan, don't they? With the horns. Okay, yeah, cool goats, right? So, hey, they can live in the desert. They are really, really, durable. Do they kill people? I don't think so. Okay, so you see, how do they adapt? How do they live in the desert? They are able to survive with very little water, just like a camel, right? They travel in herds, that means in groups, to follow rainfall. The rainfall goes there, they follow, right? And then they feed at night to reduce water loss by evaporation, rest in the shade during the day. So at daytime, they'll just rest under tree to chill. At night only, they come out and eat. But they don't have the hum. About the hum, I'll tell you that later. So they make den in the sand and lie in to conduct body heat to the ground. So you know how they cool down themselves? Okay. You know how they cool themselves down? It's really cool. They will just, hey, let me see if I can find a picture here. Are they? Okay, this is not really clear. So they will just dig a small hole, they will just lie inside to use the sand to cool themselves down. So that's really cool. Okay. See if I can find this sand in the den. See if I can find this. Oh no, are there something like this something like this? So they'll just dig a small hole. They'll just, oh, maybe oryx are cute. Okay. Hey guys, don't mess with all these desert animals. Do you know camels? They are very fierce. Please don't mess with camels. they are not the friendliest bunch. They will kick you right in the stomach. Okay, camels, they're very nasty, right? Because they're made for tough. Okay, they're surviving in the toughest environment. So you don't think that they're very friendly. Okay, because they're not. So this is your desert orange. Okay, so what else? They have large hooves to prevent from sinking into the soft sand to decrease pressure. This is physics. When I have large tire, I won't sink to the ground, just like your lorry. And then they have light color fur to help reflect radiation from the sun. So white is not so hot. It's like you wear black t-shirt under the sun, is very hot, right? So they have white fur. This will help them survive. You see, they are just cool. All right, about this hump, right? Okay, you don't have, camels are camel humps are. Okay, let me tell you this thing. Okay, many people think that they store water in the hump. Wrong, 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 wrong. They don't store water in the hump. Instead, they store fats. Right? You might say, sir, why they store fats there? Because if they need water, they will digest the fat, and digesting fat will give you water. This is biology stuff already. But the point is, you see, inside is just fats, tons of fats, right? So when they need energy, they just digest a little bit of it and get some water, they will just cool themselves down. So you see, that's why camels, they can survive for such a long period in the desert. Awesome, isn't it? So like I said, every animal, they have some kind of tricks up their sleeve. They just know how to survive. Right? You don't need to worry about them. They just know how to survive. Okay, so anyway, so what else do we have? Okay, we have sea lions. Okay, you know what is a sea lion lah? So they have streamlined body to help them swim. You see, what is a streamlined body? That means they have a smooth shaped body. Small head and big body. It's like an aeroplane. Have you seen an aeroplane before? They have small head and then they have a big body. So this is what we call streamlined shape. Something that looks like a bullet. A bullet has a streamlined shape. Okay, so they have flippers to help propel water. Okay, it's just like when you go for scuba diving, you have the flipper. They can hold their breath underwater. Even though they are mammals, they breathe using lungs. They can still survive underwater. They have sharp teeth to kill prey. Okay, they eat penguins. Okay, they eat penguins. All right. Don't think that they're very cute. They are not. Okay, they are not cute. They will. They might kill you. Okay, that's why they're called sea lion. Okay, so guys, anyway, I think I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop right here. So next week, right, I will finish this and then maybe I will go to ecology. Like just now, someone asked, right, how do they know there's 200 tigers currently in the wild? This is how they do it. We call it ecology. This is like statistics for animals. We'll go to this next week. Okay, so anyway, that's it for today. So thanks for coming, guys. Okay, I will see you the same time next Tuesday. All right, so have a good night. I will see you next week. So see you. Take care. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.